loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be diving into the master plan that Spirit has for your life. I love this question. It was actually inspired by a reading that I was doing for Behati Love Notes. It's my small collective there where I shuffle and pull for them every other day. Tarot, intuitive channelings, you get the drift. But I knew that I wanted to share a chunk with you guys on such an important question. What is the divine master plan for my life? I believe, before we go any further, I do believe that there is an overall master plan for your life, and then there are the smaller tasks that are more focused in the moment. So allow yourself to be drawn and called to and choose the message that is the most in alignment for you right now. And that could cover you for the entirety of your life, or it could reflect this season of your life. I have no doubt that you'll be able to intuitively discern which one it is for you. So go ahead and grab some coffee, grab some tea, get some water, get cozy, and let's dive right in. All right, darlings, if you chose the first pile or the first message, this is Spirit's plan for your life. I'm going to be live shuffling. I'm going to put the card over here. What is Spirit's plan? Ooh, goodness. That card blasted out. What is Spirit's plan for your life? I'm feeling this card. And then shuffling from the pocket. Light Seers. What is Spirit's plan for your life? This card is definitely sticking out. So this one, and this one. All the decks that I'm shuffling from will be linked down below. So let's go ahead and flip this card over. Oh my gosh, the cat and lavender, independence. Cow spirit, the miracles are endless. Someone here is going to be working from home. If you aren't already, there's an emphasis on you working from home. You have the double cat spirit here. Cat spirit, claim your independence. And cat and lavender, independence. Wow. I don't know if you guys are seeing these, but there is a strong emphasis on domesticated animals here, which is really kind of amplifying the message that it is that I was talking about before, which is working from home. I also feel a kindred connection to animals. So someone here might be a vet or be called in fields of working with animals. Someone here may be very, very in tune, very sensitive to the needs of sensitive people in general. Like if you are working with special needs, or if you someone here may be providing your purpose is to provide a service, or someone here may be crafting, or art, like arts. I don't want to say arts and crafts, but it feels really like crafting, like something really specific, welding, design. Not big though. Be really careful about expecting life or your purpose to feel major. Like sometimes in the spiritual community, when you are a healer and you're gifted and your purpose is to help heal a lot of people, sometimes people connect that with popularity or social media or social eyes on you, but that is not your purpose, and you get frustrated because you're like, well, why am I not Deepak Chopra, is that his name? You are more domestic, you're more localized, and you're going to help heal people closer in your community, right? And you won't see the magnitude, the greatness that you are doing because you measure yourself to more popular forms. This is, your purpose is to not be on this global, like, large scale. It's really intimate, it's quiet, it's humble, but it's specific, it's tailored, it's intentional, and it's awesome. I do see, let me flip your tarot cards here. Yeah, 9 of Cups, 3 of Swords, the Hermit card, Wheel of Fortune, and Temperance card. So this is, if you are choosing this pile, you are definitely called into quiet, remote, like really working in your bubble activities. Craftsmanship is something that's coming through. I'm seeing your purpose here is nourishment, providing nourishment for others. So you could be a baker. You might be called into like sourdough bread right now. You could be a farmer. This is a group that is connected to farming or gardening or harvesting. Someone here could be doing landscaping. Your purpose is connected to landscaping. And I know that that seems so like just, you know, if this is my purpose, does that seem, it's a very humble but powerful existence. And don't ever overlook a quiet, reliable, consistent energy, like a purpose that is defined by those traits. That is so important. It is so important. I'm also seeing an image of someone stacking like flagstone. Is what's coming through, flagstone, the rocks, and making like borders with them. So it's reminding me of landscaping. I don't see this as a metaphor. I see it as a literal landscaping or defining boundaries and borders. Someone here could be, you add so much quality and value to someone's life. I also see someone connected to like making pools, building pools, changing the landscaping of the earth. I'm also seeing the connection to the word terra, which is another word for earth. You might actually have beaver spirit. I'm getting the image of a beaver, how a beaver changes and shifts the landscape of a place. Like they manipulate the earth, the ground, in order to better. This person, whoever, if you chose this pile, you have a really deep understanding of the earth. You may be someone who is a guardian of the earth. Your purpose is to help heal the earth, provide balance and replenishment to the earth. If you feel called to plants or animals, you are the protector. You are the guardian of the earth, one of the main guardians of the earth. That's so beautiful. I love this energy. You're my type of person. You are going to be really sensitive to the feelings, the hurt, the pain of the earth and of animals specifically. You may have a really strong connection to animals that live in your home or animals in wildlife. You have a reputation for being able to communicate with animals. As a child, you were able to communicate with animals. Birds, wildlife tend to follow you or gravitate towards you. I'm the same way. Anywhere I go, I just have a way with them. I always have. You feel their sufferings. You're an advocate for animal welfare, for resources of the earth. You balance, your purpose is to help balance balance the ecosystem. And that could be in big ways where you're doing advocacy and policy change and reform, or working in environmental protection, environmental sciences, or it could be in ways that are smaller. And by big and small, I don't mean any less than of importance, but it could be in ways that you just are always out in the garden, helping people with their garden. You may be someone who, and I hope that this isn't the case, but you tend to step into your purpose later on in life because you break free from traditional ways that you get pulled into. I want to tell you that if you're 20 years old and you're listening to this message, don't shy away from being someone who prefers the countryside and prefers being like, I don't want to say like doing granny activities, but like the whole world, like everyone else in their 20s could be out raging, partying, drinking, and you may be called to reading books and learning how to bake and learning how to harvest seeds, and always preferring farmers markets, whether that's where you shop or you contribute your goods, your baked goods to the farmers markets. You are so connected to the word nourishment, it's not even funny. Like, you really are a humble, tactile, like someone who works so well with their hands, human being. And I just love you. I just really do. I love this energy so much. Like, you are my best friend. 100%. Not to have BFF Jess enter the chat, but seriously. Yeah, I love this energy so much. Well, that's your purpose. And there's something about you that really gives, like, people walk away and they walk away after talking with you or hanging out with you, just feeling really peaceful, feeling really healed. There's a sense here that you don't want anything from anyone. Like, you know, when you like meet someone and you're just like, oh, that person was great. Like, I feel invigorated from the conversation, but it like awakens you to like be the best version of yourself. You are someone who, when people meet you, they can just be who they are and they just feel comfortable, and they feel like you're like, if you were a food, like you would be a soup, like a hearty soup, like a nourishing soup. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Like, you just are someone who naturally warms people up. It's beautiful. When people walk away after meeting you, they feel like, wow, like, thank God for people like them on this earth, this planet. Like, I just feel so, it's very maternal. This is also a very motherly pile. So even if you are not a mother or a parent or nurturing a human being or human beings, you are a mother to this earth, a guardian to this earth. I love that. That's your purpose. So some activities that can bring you closer to your purpose: journaling, baking, gardening, harvesting, walks. I don't want to say isolation, but separation from the masses, disconnection from your phone. The phone would really drain your energy. Craftsmanships of all different types. It could be bending wires, like wire working, beading, crochet, pinpoint, needlework, hiking, water, like anything on the water or next to water, landscaping. I don't know if I said that. If I probably said that a million times, I don't know. Reiki, but on a small scale, not a global scale. Do not do global. Global is going to be too much. You're too sensitive for that. Do it on a smaller scale. You make a huge difference that way without exhausting yourself. And also farmers markets, huge. Animal keeping, feeding birds. As I said that, like a little lizard just showed up right there. I don't know if you can see him right there. Boop. Hold on. Let's see what he does. There he is. He's so cute. He's like, yes, yes. All right, my loves, that's your purpose. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your energy. If this resonated with you, Behati Love Notes is something that you should probably check out. It is my membership where I shuffle and pull for that collective there, just really pouring into them, nourishing them, as well as providing astrological insight. The links for that will be down below. Make sure that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel because there's plenty more videos where this came from. And I'll see you in the next one. Moving on to the second message. All right, my loves, if you chose the second message, this is your purpose. I'm going to live shuffle for you. Hope you don't mind. Oh my goodness. Definitely this card. Definitely this card. And I'm feeling for you. Oh, this card. Oh, these two cards. It's so funny. What is this? What is their purpose? Oh my God, your cards are just diving out. This one is not it. This one's it. This one's it. This one's it. What is your, one more? I can feel it. One more. This one. These two. Okay. Again, the decks that I'm shuffling with can be found down below. What is your purpose? Ooh, I just heard manifest destiny. What is that? Here, let me Google it really quickly. That's so specific. Google. Isn't that when like they go out and like conquer? What manifest destiny meaning? Oh gosh. Yeah, 19th century belief that United States was destined by God to expand its dominion across North America. The idea that it has a divine mission to spread its democracy and capitalism. Okay. I'm listening. What is your purpose here? Otter. Peace. Wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me. The way that these cards have been layered. Otter spirit. The first pile was the same way. It's been shown. This has been happening a lot. Otter spirit. You're never alone. And then otter spirit again. Peace. So this is definitely significant. Groundhog spirit. It's time to let go. Wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings. Honestly, you're the guardian of people. Interesting. You're the guardian of people. You are helping people. I just heard amplify a message. You invoke change in people's hearts and life, but at the same time, I gotta tell you, you may, I don't want to say trigger people, but you may have difficulties with relationships because you require people to, you don't allow people to settle into what they accept of themselves. You call things out. I'm the same way. It's because you care. But a lot of people have a sense that they cannot continue with unhealthy, toxic ways around you. They will not be supported by you if they are doing things that they know that they shouldn't, or if they're not confronting themselves, they're not honest with themselves or honest with others. That's not something that's going to fly with you. And people, I got to start off with this message first. Like, people may say that that's okay. People may initially say that it's okay, but at the end of the day, it can be deeply triggering, and you may find that people avoid you. Or your circle is like small or something, because not, you know, when they say you're not everyone's cup of tea, like you're someone's shot of whiskey though. You are someone who evokes change, who makes sure that there's change. You make sure that people are moving in direction, like in their authentic direction. Glad I had that pause because as I was coming back into my office space, the apothecary, I saw dragon's blood, and really, like, look up the symbolism and why people would want to work with dragon's blood. That's you. You are meant to empower people. You are meant to lead a revolution. You are meant to make change. You're meant to confront people, to confront yourself. You may have had really interesting experiences with trauma in your own life that makes you unafraid of life experience. You're the type of person that you're like, you've been through so much, or you've been through something so transformative that you're like, I am not afraid of the fire. I was born in it. Truly, that's your energy. And you can't be with someone or be with people who shy away from deep, transformative conversations, depth and intimacy and connection, like Kundalini awakening. Like, you go so deep. You have a deep instinctual understanding and knowledge of ancestral wisdom. You are not here to hold people's hand when they are trying to coast by in life. You hold people's hand when they are diving into themselves. You almost are like a mirror where you kind of reflect back to people what they need to see within themselves. And what's the word? You are a companion, I don't say facilitator, but you're walking side by side with them as they are awakening. The thing is, and this makes me so sad, because it comes with a burden, right? Like, it comes with a weight. You're going to experience a lot of relationships that are seem very short-lived. They come in little windows. It could be a few days, a few months, a few years. It seems, and then the people who stay with you are like family to you. Like, the bonds are so deep. But you may feel like not something is wrong with you, but you may feel like, dang, like, I have a lot of connections that come in and go out. And that's the way that it has to be, truly. That's the way that it has to be, because you're just meant to facilitate deep change. You are very intuitive, but even as I'm sitting here, I feel my head like kind of starting to spin a little, and that is what it feels like when you are so deeply connected with yourself and the spiritual realms, that sometimes it gets overwhelming. So you have to really prioritize your diet and your wellness practices, especially if you go for grounding walks. There's a message here. This is so specific. There's a message here about like body awareness. In order for you to do your work here, you can't be someone who is like working out in the gym unless there's like a strategic purpose for the type of workout that you're doing in the gym. You may find like metals bother you, like make you sick. Water or metal in water can really bother you, make you very sick. If you have any issues with your physical body or sickness or headaches, make sure that you're drinking purified water and you're not getting metals in your food. You cannot drink out of metal bottles or metal cups. You have to drink out of glass. That's a really specific message. You have to drink out of like glass teacups. Don't, if you have things like stainless steel, that's not your friend. There's something about the metals. Like, stainless steel is not your friend. Drink out of glass bottles. If you are someone who likes to drink out of containers that hold heat, you kind of have to accept that heat escapes for the sake of your physical body, because metals are going to make you sick. I don't know. You have a very strong sensitivity to metals. Don't wear metals on your skin. You're just diminishing your power and making yourself sick. Glass, natural resources, things that are very natural. The metals are natural, but there's just so many chemicals that go into them these days that you can't totally trust it. Copper is your best friend. Crystals that amplify energy. I'm seeing a lot of like ambers, like resins, because they remind you, they connect you to the past and magic of the past. Honey is your best friend. Dark, it's like dark and light for you. So dark crystals like tourmaline, onyx. Hematite. Sapphires. I'm actually seeing sapphires and rubies for you. But then also resins, amber, sunstone, carnelian, bloodstone. Oh my God, bloodstone. Okay, wow. Whew, girl. Okay, Knight of Wands, 8 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Wands reversed. Yeah, the Lovers. I'm not even surprised to see that. That's, oh, look, the Tower card. Yep. 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. You see right through people. No, people can't get anything by you. Like, you see right into their soul, and they feel it, they sense it. Sometimes they don't like it. If they don't want to confront themselves, they're going to be uncomfortable with you because they're uncomfortable with themselves. But the people who are not afraid of confronting themselves, they're going to love you. Not that it matters who likes or loves you, because you don't give a shit. I can tell that. If anything makes you feel pain when it comes to others, it's the fact that people don't want to dive within themselves, and it leads to superficial relationships. And you know that they could be experiencing so much more from this experience in life, but they refuse to do the work. That's what makes you sad. Because there's an opportunity to go deep. You also crave depth and like true intimacy within your relationships. Any type of like one night stands or bouncing from partner to partner is not good for you. You may, if you ever have a moment where you are internally collapsing because you have experienced trauma or you have self-hatred, you may actually find yourself in places where you connect with others and you get frustrated with the experience. So you may actually have like a bout in your experience, like a little moment where you were excuse me, like sleeping with a lot of people or having intimacy with a lot of people, and it literally was a way for you to hurt yourself. And some people will be like, well, why would you hurt yourself? Why would you choose to do something to hurt yourself? Or just, I wasn't doing that to hurt myself. And there's some people who it is what it is. Like, there's no attachment. But for you, there was. And you kind of have to look at what you were looking for in that moment. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. None of us are perfect. And you're not, the goal is not perfection. The goal is depth and intimacy. And you were, I don't want to say maybe using it as a weapon. It's possible you might have been using that to hurt someone else, but really what you were doing was hurting yourself, and that someone needs to hear that here. But you rise up from the ashes from that. You needed to have that experience. That's one way that this energy can unfold. But the truth is that there's ways that when we are hurting deeply, deeply, and we see that hurt, we see the ache, we see the trauma, and we don't have help with not severing ourselves, but seeing where we have been severed, see where we have been cut so deeply. We need help restoring ourselves from that. We need help healing ourselves. So there needs to be an exchange. You are someone who easily would be drawn to psychology, counseling, therapy, trauma, addiction recovery, like sexual healing is something too that is coming through. You are someone who would benefit big time from drum circles, drumming in general, thumping your chest, any type of rhythmic exercise. This is not a ballet. This is more like African dance. Irish steppers too, even though they all do it together, there's a lot of thumping. Exercises that help you. For someone here, I'm actually seeing biking, like mountain biking, going really fast in the mountains, like on trails. Thumping, like thumping the chest, healing, awakening, invoking. Circles that you are able to reconvene with, like go back to, like once a month or once every 3 months or once a year. Spiritual, like retreats once a year. I'm definitely seeing someone on the water, but like not like a cruise, but if you're on a cruise, it evokes something out of you that you're like, wow, I need this, but like in a different way. It's more like you need to be on the water in nature. So you could be drawn to, like I had to do some healing for myself, and I was drawn to Costa Rica. There was like the mountains and the volcanoes and then the ocean, and it was really healing for me. That was actually where I had my retreats in the past. Yeah. Therapy, big time therapy. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope this makes sense. I really love this pile and the transformative energies that are found within it. Serious blessings to you on your journey, because this is, especially if you are someone who has experienced incredible trauma, like an accident or a drowning is something that's coming through, but that you are made better because of it or transformed because of it. You're not afraid to look death in the face. You may have survived like birth trauma. You may have survived birth trauma. You may have experienced it. Interesting. You may actually have a YouTube channel, but you might be like me, where sometimes it's too confrontational. Not that you're trying to fight with anybody, because that's not the vibe. But people, it's for those who are willing to look within themselves. And if they don't want to do that, you know, you're just not going to be their cup of tea. And that's okay. Your circle is small. So measure your success in how you feel at the end of the day, and how those who are willing to transform and they consent to it, because that's a big thing, consent, how much their life has changed because of your entry into their lives. Also be careful with stalkers. Like, you may really attract intense energies, or you may find yourself fixated. Okay, that's the last. If this reading resonated with you and spoke to you and talked to you in your purpose, definitely consider Behati Love Notes. It's my little community that I've created where I shuffle and pull and dive in deep intuitively for them on a consistent basis, maybe every 2 days, every 3 days, depending. The links for that will be down below. I also provide astrological insights to help explain the transits that we're in right now. It's definitely food for the soul, and it will be an awesome companion for you in your journey, especially if you are, like I see you are, someone who wants to dive deep, because it is definitely, we definitely dive deep there, okay? Especially with journal promptings. Our readings are meant to intuitively pull awareness into your perspective so that you're able to see. So yeah, it will really help. So until then, you guys, thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your energy. Make sure that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, because there's plenty more videos where this came from. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Moving on to the third message. All right, my loves, if you chose the third message, this is your purpose. I'm going to be live shuffling for you. The decks that I'm working with can be found below. For you, I'm getting a really strong message about balance. I'm also hearing the word decode, decipher, decode, decipher. You may be someone who works with symbolism or understands symbolism. I'm also hearing dreams. So it's giving already, it's giving like someone who works with, I don't say mystical energies, but mysticism, intuition, what's the word? Oh, metaphysical. Oh, of course, the skunk. My animal totem, that's so funny. Protection, the skunk and magnolia. That right there kind of says a lot, because you're just like me. You are to balance. That's so funny. I did say the word balance. You are to balance the dark and the light. This is definitely the high priestess. The skunk energy is connected to the high priestess. You are, your purpose, from what I can see so far, and I'm going to pull these cards over, is very intuitive, very gifted, very respected, very quiet. Complex. There's a complexity here too that I'm getting. I'm also feeling like in your own life, the highs and the lows that it is that you have to go through within yourself. You may have actually big experiences with abandonment and relationships. You may, you have to balance like how you may unintentionally lose yourself helping others. Magnolia's energy too. You really got to look into the spirit of the magnolia. You may be someone who's working at your altar, magic, mystery, dream work, subconscious journaling, quiet time, sanctuaries, oils, resins, incense. Very spiritual purpose already is what it is that I'm sensing. I love the skunk. It's my animal totem. Tend to the small things. I love that. I definitely am seeing ritual for you. Someone here may be called to perform rites and rituals for others. House cleanings, like cleaning someone's house. You may be called to like paranormal, connecting with spirit, people who have passed on, your ability to sense spirit, listening, hearing what they're saying, what their message is, angels, I definitely randomly am seeing a connection to the ocean, a need to purify your energy by walking to the ocean, walking by the ocean, or taking Epsom salt baths, getting the salt air on your skin, purifying, the rituals that you do. Life is a mystery. Yeah, confirmed. Confirmed. You're definitely a seer, an intuitive. If I was to pull a pile, this would definitely be it. But yeah, you are a seer. Definitely. You understand esoteric symbolism. You're drawn to esoteric symbolism, astrology, tarot, metaphysical. You're meant to be a diviner, someone who uses divination. Through that, you can heal people, but you need to a big thing of your purpose here is making sure that you're not spending so much time trying to heal others. You are meant to understand information and pass it over. If you spend too much time healing people, you'll find yourself out of balance, out of whack. You got to, oh my God, this is definitely like a message for me right now. Damn it. But okay. I'm with you. That's BFF Jess entering the chat. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Jessica, and I am an intuitive, a seer, always have been. I've always been able to connect through the spiritual realms, was able to see spirits since I was a kid. So when I say BFF Jess, it's that side of me that is normal Jess that you would see in a coffee shop. I bumped into so many of you guys living our lives out when out and about, going to my doctor's appointments. I bumped into people getting coffee, always bumping into people. Yeah, you guys know. It's so interesting. Who did I bump into recently? Oh gosh, you probably, if you've drawn to this pile, we've actually bumped into each other. We bump into each other. That's so funny. It's probably why I'm getting so distracted right now. There's someone recently that's like, oh, I went to go get a massage the other day, and she was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah, I do. She was like, yeah, I've been following you for years. So good to see you guys out and about. But yeah, this is not, you may find that you can heal people, that you have the potential to heal because you can see, but if you try to make that your purpose, or if you misunderstand that that's your purpose, you will find that you get out of balance really, really easily, out of whack. People might be drawn to you because they automatically assume that you can heal them, and you could, but for your own protection, for your own safety, your purpose is to translate the messages, to be a scribe of sorts, like someone who understands, who sees, connects, and then passes the message on. Disconnect, separate yourself, cleanse your energy, and move on. I say that because there has to be a distinction. There has to be a balance. Someone here is I'm also getting like strong smells of like food, and it's not because there's someone cooking. It's an intuitive smell that it is that I'm picking up on. So really pay attention to the foods that you eat, and making sure that your life, like your private life, is something that's very normal. There has to be a balance here. That's a big message that's coming through. You even have 4 and 8 here. Balance, balance, balance. How you restore your energy after working with the spiritual realms. You don't need to explain to anyone why you choose to eat what you do. As long as it's nourishing your body, as long as it's spiritually led. I've been called out, not even called out because that's not even it, but I'm going to call it what it is. I've been attacked for my own diet. People being like, well, Jess, if you're so intuitive and you love animals, why do you partake in the consumption of meat? And the truth is wow. Gosh, right now, man. Damn it. I'm not an editor. I don't edit my videos. I allow them to be what they are. So I'm sorry that they're gardening right now. But yeah, honestly, that might be spirit being like, you don't need to go any further on this. The moral of the story is, you know what your body needs. You know what your day-to-day life needs to look like. for you to feel healthy and restored, and no one needs to understand that but you. And that's the way that, also, you may need to rid yourself of stereotypes of what a seer does, how they dress, how they look, how they talk. You just need to be you. And the reason why I feel really called to say that too is because the balance of things, and the relationship that you have with others. Don't allow people to influence what you need. Also, you are a reflection of some intuitive guide that, sorry, there's a heron on my yard right now. It's so beautiful. You are the reflection of an intuitive guide or an ancestor that was also deeply in tune, big time a seer, a diviner, someone who would use divination. You are mirroring their interests, what they ate, what they like, how they wore, the things that they dress. Not everything to a T, but a lot of similarities. And to separate yourself from how they want you to dress and how they inspire you to dress or take care of yourself is to disrespect them. But they're the ones who are helping you along with your gift. So heed that, listen to that, and give gratitude for their wisdom and for their closeness with you. You are very close with the spiritual realms. Very, very close. Let's look at this last card here. Believe in yourself. I love that. Yeah, this is you're not meant to walk this. Someone here needs to know, you have partnership here. It's so funny. You're meant to be with a partner. Or for someone here, I see divine union. So you may be married to spirit first before you marry here on earth. You may also have you may find your interesting, your sexuality may be different. You may think that you may be brought up traditional or think that you're tradition, but you may find yourself, oh my gosh, the heron is just flew by, it's so beautiful. You may find yourself in divine union with feminine energy. So interesting. Because I don't know, something about it bringing out your gifts or highlighting your gifts. So interesting. Or respecting your gifts. Amplifying your gift. Interesting. Believe in yourself. We have 3 of Wands, Knight of Wands, Strength card reversed, 8 of Cups reversed. Believe in yourself. This is honoring your authentic journey, your authentic pace. Ooh, that's the word, pace. Your divine, seriously, emphasis on timing, the timing of your life. There's such a, I feel like I'm stumbling through this, but it's there's such an interesting message here about balance, being this intuitive, incredible seeker, seer, someone who sees. And then going back to your regular life or going back to your day-to-day life and meeting up with your friends for a cup of coffee and laughing. There's the reason why, this is because I'm asking Spirit why. The reason why is because to be a seer is a gift, but you are still human. You are still human, and you're meant to, I don't say take that gift off like a robe, because it's something that you can just do. You can just tap into it. You can tune into it. But to stay in that role all the time would make you, it could make you sick. It could make you lose compassion, because you may actually start giving up on people. Wow. When you start seeing people, interesting. This is so real. Okay. Sorry. I'm listening and learning too as I'm doing this. That's why I love doing these readings, because Spirit speaks and I learn and I listen. Okay. You may start giving up on people because you can see you see and understand what they don't see and understand. And it's like, I don't know, there's something about it that disappoints you, that lets you down. You see people self-sabotage. You see into people. Really similar to message number 2, but this is more about divination and not... They might actually go hand in hand, but it's less of a healing and it's more of like seeing. Interesting. I don't even have the words to describe this. Okay. Either way, there has to be balance in your life, because you can really get lost in what you see. Or the spirit, you have to have boundaries with the spiritual realms too, even if they're close to you, because sometimes it can be consuming, and that's why you have to have normal life and normal practices. And it's so interesting because a lot of people want to be this pile. They want to be this gifted, but they can't, because they would get consumed by it. They don't know how to draw the line, the boundary, and when to separate themselves. And they say that they can, but they can't. So it's not given to them. It's a responsibility, it's a duty, and there has to be balance between your gift and your ability to enjoy life and separate yourself from your gift, because you are not your gift. You're just gifted. Wow. This, if you chose this, you might be like me. Like I go to I love the EDM festivals and stuff. I go sober. I know a lot of people they take like hallucinogenics and stuff, but I've never... Bro, it's so loud over there. Okay, fine. You don't partake in things that stimulate, or... You know what? Everybody is different. I actually, because Spirit just stopped me dead in the tracks when I said that. Everyone is different. Everyone will do what they need to do, but you have your own unique path, and you know what that looks like. You know what, if it feels good, it's something that you've seen the signs for, you've got the confirmation, if you set the intention, you are a magician, you are a witch, you are at your altar, you probably make oils, you work with herbs, you work with the tarot, you work with astrology charts, all of it. Or crystal ball, something that helps you to see. Moonstone is something that I'm seeing. Crystal quartz is something that I'm seeing. Things that give you clarity. Also salt, that is another crystal, a really powerful crystal to help you cleanse your energy afterwards. Yeah, you help people have breakthroughs. You help people to see the path ahead of them, to see, like if someone is coming to you with a question, you've got your tarot cards. You might be like me and you carry your tarot cards in your purse anywhere you go. You are ready at a moment's notice to connect with Spirit, to shuffle, pull, or you don't even need a tool. You can just see. You may be able to see spirits. To be too close to the spiritual realms is to allow them to gain access, and there needs to be a strong boundary. So salt is something that you may need to carry, or a crystal spray, like a bottle spray that carries energy to help purify the space after you do a reading. And I have a formula that I always carry on me, because I could be in a home or a space just vibing, and spirits tend to try to come to you, or you can just read the energy, but you got to rid yourself of it too. That's why there needs to be healthy boundaries. Yeah, 10 of Cups and the Chariot card supporting the 10 to the small things. It's a lot of balance. The Chariot card is truly the balance of dark and light, and making sure that you find a healthy balance between the two in order to maintain like homeostasis in yourself. 10 of Cups. All right, my loves. So some activities that help you in your purpose here are, of course, tarot, metaphysical, esoteric studies, astrology, meditation, but also there is a huge blank space where you fill in the blank with what you need to do and what you feel called to do that is not related to the spiritual realms, that gives you balance in your life, that helps you. And every year it may change. Like, I'll speak for myself here because I really identify with this deck, with this message here. One year I was just out exploring boating, and all of my friends and I, we would all chip in to get like one big boat, and I would just jump off the side and I would just laugh and you wouldn't even know. But then I would feel someone who is a new friend on the boat, and I'd be like, listen, I got a message for you, or I could feel this for you, or this is coming through. And then we would just go back and party. And by party, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't under the influence of anything. There were people who were. I'm not here to judge. It was just, there's no judgment. I was just living my life full and having fun and doing, taking a break from seeing. And it was beautiful. Let's say this could be like, okay, you are intuitive and then you roller skate. You would never, it's something that maybe someone wouldn't guess or wouldn't assume, but you're not here to seem like a seer or seem like a gifted. You are the living embodiment of it. So you don't need to put on a front. You don't need to put on a mask. You just show up. I do get a sense of like strong misunderstanding and problems. For some reason, there's problems sometimes with relationships. It could be a relationship with spirit. It could be relationships because spirit wants to have a deeper relationship with you, so they won't allow you to have others kind of step forward here. And that's where the balance kind of needs to be crossed, especially if you desire intimacy and connection relationships, romantic relationships within your life. I have noticed that there's either a hyper focus on relationships and connection in your life, or trauma there, or the very opposite where you're just like, I don't want this. Or you do want it, but it's not where you expect it. So you may think that you are heterosexual, but you end up being homosexual because you connect with like-minded. So much so that it has to be like seriously aligned energy. And I also keep smelling food. So there's something about like food here, which is so interesting. All right, my loves. Well, that is the message for today. I'm going to free you of the burden of listening to this person weed whacking. I hope that it resonated and spoke directly to you. Also, I don't know if I said this, but one last thing. You don't need things to see, right? You're just gifted. If you chose this pile, work on your gift if you can't do it yet. If you haven't been able to do it yet. You don't need to hold a crystal or something so cliche. Like for me, when I was strengthening my gifts, I was drawn immediately to a fresh sliced avocado, the seed inside. It was always a fresh seed. There was always something about the seed that helped me to ground myself into myself so that I could see clear, and I would just like start spinning. Which that was something else that I had to work on, was how grounding myself when I was connecting with spirit realms, because I would spin. Like it felt like I was spinning, and I would get dizzy and I would feel sick to my stomach. So there was a whole process, a whole journey in helping me have balance. I want to say too, one last thing. There's a lot of people who are going to try to be the cliche of what this pile represents and what this pile is about. And you won't be the cliche. You will be the authentic version. And for that reason, you will not be what people expect you to be. They will respect you for your gift because you clearly have a gift. Oh, look, it's a squirrel baby. Look, there he is. Hi. You looking for foodie? Okay. I'm going to go make that squirrel sandwich. But anyway, I'm not even kidding. I'm going to make that squirrel sandwich. Anyway, you're not the cliche of what people are expecting a seer to be. You may find yourself doing certain things to help you or protect you, but at the end of the day, just your authenticity is really, really important here, and it will be challenged, but you have to move with integrity. I don't want to say an obstacle, but that's gonna be something that you need to hear and give to yourself often, is the message of integrity. Not that it's ever challenged, like you're not, but sometimes it can feel, I'm speaking for myself here, sometimes it can, I don't want to say be frustrating, but sometimes it's just like, I don't want to say humbling, but like your work speaks for itself, but sometimes you don't feel like it's seen. But that's not why you do it. Also, I think for if you chose this pile, you may have interesting relationships. Okay. If this spoke to you and resonated with you, honestly, it was a blessing connecting with your energy. I want to open up the invitation for you to explore Behati Love Notes. I dive into my messages with them consistently. Every day, every other day, with the intuitive messages, and astrology is usually every day. I'm so like spaced out right now, but it's because I'm just so connected to this reading right now that I'm just like, oh gosh, what do I do to balance myself? And that's literally, guys, that is the message right there. If you are truly seeing, feeling, sensing, you have to have balance, or else you'll get lost in it. You'll be that space cadet that is just not here on this earth. And as wonderful as that sounds, it's really problematic when you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Like, you are a human being first. Well, maybe not first, but there has to be balance, and the food definitely helps. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to save you guys my spiel because I am spaced out, but Behati Love Notes, if that's something that is interesting and helpful for you, it'll be linked down below. I freaking love this group. If I was going to choose, this would be it. And it's also kind of bringing up a lot for me right now, to be honest with you. Oh, gosh. That I need to sit with. Specifically the cliches, like how frustrating it is to deal with the cliches of it all. And I feel like if you chose this pile, you understand. Like, you could be someone who's just like, you love like bell bottoms and platform shoes, so specific, and then people are like, she's the diviner, and then they're like, yes, don't judge her, don't judge a book by its cover, because when she sits, she can read you. Or that tiny one with the curly hair jumping off the side of the boat. Speaking for myself here. Yep, that's the one. That's who you got to talk to. And then you sit with them, and then you're in tears because you're just like, yo, how did you know that? And then they just kind of like run off, and they have like a juice box in their purse. Like, that's literally me. And I maybe I'm meant to kind of talk to you guys about this a little bit, but sometimes it's the judgment that you're just like, not that it matters, but sometimes it's just like, ugh, why couldn't it be the other way? And then maybe you will be called into being like the cliche and, you know, whatever, dressing like what is expected of you, but I can't. But again, everybody has their special path. And that's clearly a message here, is for your activities, if this is your purpose and path. And I keep smelling food for this group, like it's an intuitive sense of food. Or you may be a cook or a chef, or you may have a small storefront where you bake food and cook food, and that's what you offer for others and people, but you also are known for your gift. There's something here that's like not at all related that you do, and it helps you to balance. Look into the Chariot card and how important this message is for you about balancing like duality in your life. especially with a skunk. Also, make sure that in your relationships too, that you're doing things that pour back into you, or that you, like, I have gifted friends that read for me. We can't, if you're really gifted, you can't be responsible for reading into your energy. It's really important that you have others that are pouring into you too. Okay, that's literally the last message. I'm gonna go. Behati, whoa, I almost knocked my deck over. Behati Love Notes is linked down for you below if that's something that you would like to connect with. Also, I really feel called to share with you the Sacred Anointing Ritual boxes. It's pretty much my lunar oil that I create for the collective, a small version for those of you guys that are intuitive and gifted and always working your magic at your altars, doing your rituals. Every month I pull the cards, I pull the charts, I look into what is ahead for the month coming, and then I create the oil to help amplify those energies. It's one of a kind, truly. I don't recreate. They reflect the current energies and is definitely designed for those who would relate to this energy here, because you are more of the metaphysical, magical bunch. Even if you're Catholic and you're listening to this, there's something that draws you to be able to see and work rituals. It could be lighting a candle, burning incense, whatever, fill in the blank. You know what it is. And alongside that, adjacent with that, is like kayaking or skiing or snowboarding, like something so random, not connected to your gift. And just make sure that you know that. Okay? All right, on that note, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my experiences too, because clearly I was feeling for myself here, but this would have been my pile. Oh, there's a teddy bear like attached to the landscaper's truck that they were using. So interesting. That's so random. I've never seen that before. I wonder what that means. Anyway, I am sending you love. Actually, you know what it is? I feel like it's someone sending love to someone who has passed on from the spiritual realms. And the teddy bear is connected. It's something important for them. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Damn it. See, I'm all chaotic right now. I got to go. I got to ground. I'm over it. Bye.